Welcome to Construction Math. Today we're going to look about representing data, and today we're going to look at box plots. So on your bell work, please think about a time that you had to sketch to represent something. What did you sketch? Please write your answer on your bell worksheet. Share with your partner. Teacher call on non-volunteers. Pause the video, and I'll meet you back here in a minute. Welcome back. Today what we need to do, the one math skill you need, is to be able to find the median of a set of numbers. So please, on your note taker, teacher pause the video and have the students find the median, and I'll meet you back here in a couple minutes. Welcome back. Let's take a look. Let's go to our slate and take a look at this. Okay, and then now on our slate, let's remember what a median. Median means it's a representation of an average, and it is the middle number. Now the steps to finding the middle number are, before you can declare it's the middle number, the key thing is you need to sort them. Put them in order from smallest to largest. Don't just use whatever set of data you're given. So I'm given a 6, I'm given a 12, I'm going to put that over here. The next number on the first set of data is a 15, then I have a 9, then I have a 1, oh I hope there's room in there, and 2 3s. There, we've got them in order. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a true middle. 3 numbers should be on the left, 3 numbers should be on the right. So the median is going to be 6. Here's the 3 numbers. Ignore the spacing, and here's 3 numbers over here. So this is our median. The next set of numbers, let me see if I can do a little bit better job of spacing them. All right, smallest number in the set is 14. I'm just going to go through and sort them. 18, 19, let's see, 22, 25, 33, 36, I'm sorry, that was a 35, and a 43. Let's see how many numbers I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I need to have 3 numbers on each side, 3 numbers on this side, 3 numbers on this side. These are the 2 numbers in the middle. So if you have 2 numbers in the middle, what you do is you find the mean. To find the mean, you add the 2 numbers together and then divide by 2. So I get 47 divided by 2. So 2 into 47. Let's do a little scratch paper work over here. 7 goes 3. Remainder. So I can put 23 and a half. Or you could have picked the answer of 23.5. So teacher, pause the video if the students need a chance to correct their answers, and I'll meet you back here in a minute. Welcome back. Let's go back and see. All right, back to the PowerPoint. And let's see. Oh, there we go. I got 6 for the first one. I got 23.5. There we go. We put the numbers in order to find them and find the middle number. It's easier if there's an odd number of numbers in the data, but if there's an even number, you have 2 middle numbers and it'll be just fine. All right, let's go on. Now the objectives for today, we're going to define terminology, we're going to identify the parts of a box plot, we're going to list the steps in drawing a box plot, we're going to actually draw a box plot, and we're going to analyze what the box plot tells us. So your job is to fill in the missing terms that are in red onto your note taker. Pause the video and start when you're ready, teacher. All right, welcome back. So terminology, the first one is, what is a box plot? That's what we're going to be making today, so it'd be good to define it. It's a graphical way to display the median, the quartiles, and the extremes of a data set on a number line. So go ahead and draw a picture, define it in your own words, write a meaningful sentence, and a connection. So teacher, pause the video until students have done the first of the 2 vocabulary terms. Call on non-volunteers to share their meaningful sentence. And they can add connections or new information or add on to this vocabulary square anytime they want. Welcome back. Let's see the next term, quartile. Quartile means the numbers that divide the data into quarters. And remember, a quarter is like 25% or 1/4 of the data. So again, complete the vocabulary square. When students have completed the second one, have them share their meaningful sentence with their partner, and again, call on non-volunteers. Pause the video until that's done. Welcome back. Let's look at the parts of a box plot. Here's what a nice box plot looks like. All right. So we have quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3. That's part of the box. So the left-hand side of the box is quartile 1. The middle part, and that line, that red line, doesn't need to be in the middle of the graph, as you'll see, is quartile 2. The right-hand side of the box is quartile 3. Then the part of the box, or what we used to call box and whiskers, is that sticks out to the lowest value and to the greatest value. So 1/4 of the data lies between each of the arrows. So between the lowest value and quartile 1, we get 1/4 of the data. Between quartile 1 and quartile 2 is the median, 1/4 of the data. Between quartile 2 and quartile 3, 1/4 of the data. And between quartile 3 and the greatest value, or the largest number, is another 1/4 of the data. So altogether we get 100% of the data. This gives you a visual, and when we see some of the other data, we'll be able to say, oh, here's something that this data tells me. So pause the video until students have every piece of this information to finish up on their note taker. Welcome back. Let's look. Here's our abbreviations. Q sub 1, and that's a subscript, means quartile 1, and it's the lower half of the data. From Q sub 1 to the smallest number is half the data. From quartile 2, Q sub 2, to the upper number, the largest number, is half the data. Quartile 3 is the median of the upper half of the data. Quartile 1 is the median of the lower half of the data. And this will become, when we start using it, it'll become much more friendly. IQR stands for interquartile range, and that's the range in the box. So you take quartile 3 and subtract quartile 1, and the range is the largest value minus the smallest value. So these are some abbreviations and things and some terms we need to know. Your job is to fill in the missing terms in red. All right, pause the data until students are finished, and I'll meet you back here in a minute. All right, welcome back. So the steps to drawing a box plot, there's 5 steps. 1, find the median of the entire set of data. So fill in the term median. Step number 2, find the median of the lower data. That'll give us the first quartile. Step 3, find the median of the upper data. That'll give us the third quartile. Step number 4, draw the boxes for the medians. And 5, draw the whiskers or the extremes. So your job is to fill in the missing terms that are in red. Pause until everybody is ready. Welcome back. All right, A-B partner cheat. So partner A, turn to partner B, and teacher tell them the steps, and then switch roles so that you understand the steps in their order. And I'll meet you back here in a minute. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and go through this. Here's our example. So make sure you have the data, 23, 10, 13, 30, 26, 8. And there should be a comma after the 8 to 25. No big deal, just add in the comma. And then what I want you to do is find the median of that data. So teacher, pause the video until the students have found the median, and then stop. Right. Welcome back. So let's go to our slates. All right, so let's put the numbers in order from smallest to largest. So my numbers in order, the smallest one looking at the data was an 8, then we have a 10, then we have a 13, a 23, a 25, a 26, and a 30. Step 1 is to find the median. So let's count how many numbers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Easy to do. I need 3 above and 3 below. So here's the median. And in a box plot, we use its abbreviation. That's Q sub 2, quartile 2. Next thing we do is find the quartile of the lower pieces of data. We only have 3, so finding the middle is easiest. We call that quartile 1. Now we find it for the upper pieces of information. That's quartile 3, and that would be 26. Easy to do. So we can find the 3 medians we need to make our box. Now the hardest part is, for me, is to do the x-axis. So let me try to do an x-axis. We're going to start at 8. You don't have to start at 0. 8 to 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. All right, now I've got reasonable tick marks. I can put in the data. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. It's your choice. You could have done 1 tick mark to make each one. Your choice. Now to draw the box, we need to make the medians. So the quartile 2 is at 23. 23 is halfway between 22 and 24. So I'm going to draw that first box. I'm going to label it quartile 2. The next one is quartile 1 was at 10. I'm going to draw another part of my box here, and I'm going to label that quartile 1. I'm going to come up to my quartile 3, that's at 26. Notice that the box is not evenly even. The lower quartile is more, but what that tells me is that between these spaces, a quarter of the data filled in here, a quarter of the data filled in here. Now, the last step is I'm going to draw the whiskers. That's the smallest number, or the extremes. So 8 is the smallest number. I put a dot there and connect it back to the box. The biggest number was 30. I put a dot there and connect it back to the box. So here's a quarter of the data right here. Here's a quarter of the data in here, a quarter of the data here, and a quarter of the data out here. So take a second. See if you can add this to your note taker and pause the video, and then we'll go back and check with the ones that I've already done. All right. Welcome back. Let's delete this and go back to our PowerPoint, and let's check. I put them in order. Yes, 23 was our middle number, or Q sub 2. That's the median. The quartile of the lower part of the data was 10. That's Q sub 1. Of the upper part was 26. That's Q sub 3. I did the boxes. That time I did a really nice graph. When I don't have to do them freehand, I can do a pretty nice job. Then I put in the whiskers, and there we go. And that's our answer. All right, let's check. You try. You work this individually on your note taker. Put them in order, do the 5 steps. Then compare with your partner and change anything that you want to. Teacher, pause the video and circulate and make sure students don't have any problem. We'll be back here in a minute to check. Welcome back. Let's go through it. So here's my answer. Draw a box plot for the first one. First step was to put them in order. All right, that wasn't too difficult. And how many numbers were there? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Excellent, 9 numbers. So we needed 4 below and 4 above. So 60 was our median. Now, we take out the 60 and the bottom 4 numbers, 15, 20, 35, and 40. We found the median of that. So we had to add 20 and 35 together and divide it in 2, and we got 27.5. Above 75 to 95, again, 2 middle numbers. We added 80 and 85, and we got divided by 2 and got 82.5. Please pause the video if there's any questions about how to find the medians. Welcome back. Let's look. And here's my answer. We drew the box plot. Our biggest number then in the list was, let me flip back for a second. Our largest number in the list was 95, and our smallest number was 15. So those are the quartiles. We can read them off. The median was 60. A quarter of the data fell between 12, from 12 all the way up to, 27.5. There's our graph. All right, so now you try this one. It's a construction example. Here's the number of cabinets ordered. Create a box plot for this, and we'll be back in a minute to check it. Okay, welcome back. Let's see if you got the same answers that I did. Here we go. I got quartile 2 at 26, quartile 1 at 23.5. I got quartile quartile is hard to say after a while. Quartile 3 at 27. The smallest number of cabinets ordered was 22. The largest was 30. All right? So, now that you've gotten it done, think about that graph. Can you find the range and what is the IQR, or the inner quartile range? All right. Work with your partner, look back at your definitions, and let's see. All right. Let's go and check. The range is 8. Why is it 8? Because it's the largest number minus the smallest number, so we got 8. The inner quartile range, what is that? That's q sub 3 minus q sub 1, and it gave us 3.5. And then I remembered, because this was a real life example, to label them. It should have been labeled cabinets. And then the last 3, 3, 2, 1 closure. Write down 3 important terms from today, 2 ideas or facts you would like to know more about, and 1 skill or concept that you have mastered. And I'll see you back here next time for another construction math lesson.